For decades, we've thought of a company's ERP system as its central nervous system. You know, the backbone connecting everything. But what if that system wasn't just a backbone? What if it was a brain? A brain that could actually learn, predict, and even reason. So let's dive right in, because this isn't science fiction, it's happening right now.
You see, the whole game is shifting from this, a system of record, which is basically a passive memory bank. It's fantastic at telling you what already happened. But we're moving toward this, a system of intelligence. This isn't just a memory, it's an active brain that doesn't just store information, but uses it to think, to spot trends, and to tell you the next best thing to do.
And look, if you think this is some niche, nerdy tech trend, think again. The market for AI inside of ERP systems is projected to absolutely explode, from around $4.5 billion today to a staggering $46.5 billion by 2033. I mean, that's not a ripple, it's a tidal wave. All right, so let's get into what this new intelligent enterprise actually looks like, because I really want to hammer this point home. This is so much more than just another software upgrade. This is a fundamental rewrite of how a business actually operates.
And why are companies jumping on board? Well, the results are pretty darn compelling. We're talking productivity boosts of up to 25%. Operational efficiency, we're seeing gains of 30, even 40% in some places. But this is the one that really gets me. User satisfaction is up over 30%. Turns out, people actually like using systems that make them smarter, not just busier. Who knew, right?
But, and if you take one thing away from this explainer, let it be this. Getting those amazing results is what experts call a socio-technical challenge. Fancy term, right? All it means is that you can have the smartest AI on the planet, but if your people and your culture aren't on the same page, the whole thing falls apart. The tech and the people have to be perfectly in sync.
So how do you tackle a challenge like that? Well, it really boils down to two big pieces. First up is what we're calling the human blueprint. Before you even think about the technology, you have to get the strategy, the culture, and the people lined up. This is the bedrock. Everything else is built on top of this.
This quote from the source material just nails it. The C-suite, the leadership, they can't just pass this off to the IT department. No way. This has to be owned by the business, framed as a top-to-bottom strategic transformation. Anything less is just setting yourself up to fail.
And this slide really shows you the mindset shift. The old way, yeah, that was just user training. Here's how you click the buttons. Go nuts. The new way is about building AI literacy across the entire company. It's not just about using the tool, it's about teaching everyone how to think with the tool to solve real problems. It's a much deeper, more important investment.
And in case you think all this people stuff sounds a little fluffy, check out this number, 33%. Projects that really invest in structured change management, you know, the human side of things, are a third more likely to get excellent results. That's not fluffy. That is a massive competitive advantage. Okay, so you've got your strategy, your culture, and your people lined up. Now we can talk about the second piece, the technical foundation. This is all about the data, the architecture, and the partners you need to bring that enterprise brain to life. Okay, I'm going to say this as plainly as I possibly can. Garbage in, garbage out. Every single piece of research points to this. Your AI is only as smart as the data you feed it. If you feed it a messy, inconsistent diet of data, you are going to get garbage insights from your multi-million-dollar AI project. It is truly that simple.
So what does getting your data ready actually mean? It's not as scary as it sounds. It's basically a three-step process. 1, audit and cleanse. You got to go through what you have and clean up the mess. 2, unify it. Break down those data silos, get everything into one central platform, a single source of truth. And 3, governance. You have to set up rules to keep it clean going forward.
Now, what's fascinating is seeing how the big 3 ERP vendors are playing this game, because they're all taking slightly different paths. You've got SAP, and they're all about embedding their business AI, Joule, right into the workflow. Oracle, they're pushing these pre-built AI agents designed to just automate whole processes out of the box. And then there's Microsoft, using their huge advantage with Copilot and Azure to create what they call Agentic applications. And this brings up a really important, kind of scary point, the new vendor lock-in. See, back in the day, you were locked into an application. Now, you're getting locked into an entire AI platform, the data, the models, the skills your team builds. Switching vendors becomes almost impossibly difficult. So that choice you make today is a massive long-term commitment.
All right, so we've got the human blueprint on one side, the technical foundation on the other. Let's see what happens when you put them together and actually prove the value out in the real world.
Just take a look at Mitsubishi Electric. I mean, these numbers are wild. This isn't just theory. They saw a 60% boost in equipment uptime and a 30% jump in production output. That's the kind of concrete bottom-line ROI that makes everyone in the C-suite sit up and pay attention.
And it's not just them. We're seeing this everywhere. You've got companies like Western Sugar slashing invoice processing times by a quarter. AmerisourceBergen, they freed up 70% of their pricing team's time to focus on strategy instead of grunt work. The key is you have to track these things: cycle times, error rates, and where your people are spending their valuable time.
And this just brings the whole thing full circle, right back to that human blueprint. Look at Discover Financial Services. They were drowning, absolutely drowning, in 7 different ERPs. You know what made their massive unification project a success? The leadership didn't sell it as an IT project. They sold it as a business mission to create value. That vision, that why, was everything.
So where does this all go from here? Because believe it or not, everything we've talked about so far, that's just the opening act. The next stage for the enterprise brain is, well, it's a whole new ballgame.
And that ballgame is called Agentic AI. Forget AI assistants. We are talking about autonomous digital workers. These aren't just little bots that do one thing. We're talking about an AI agent that could be given a goal like optimize the entire supply chain for Q4. And it would just do it. Coordinating with suppliers, changing schedules, only looping in a human for the really tricky, unexpected stuff.
And this future brings us to something really interesting, called the paradox of automation. You'd think, right, that as the machines get smarter, we humans become less important. But it's the exact opposite. As AI takes over all the routine, predictable stuff, the truly human skills, critical thinking, creativity, strategy, they don't just become important, they become intensely valuable. And that's really the big question this whole transformation leaves us with. As the enterprise brain gets smarter and automation handles the routine, what is the new, highest value of our work? What are we going to do with all that reclaimed human brain power? That, right there, is the challenge and the incredible opportunity that lies ahead for all of us.